Good morning, Lexi's Leukemia Warrior family. It is me this morning. It is early. It is the time change. I'm still adjusting. I'm still tired. But Lexi decided that we wanted to film what we eat in a day. So we are starting with breakfast. And I always ask Lexi the day before, do you know what you want special for breakfast? On Mondays, I try to cook a super hot breakfast. So today she's getting waffles. I have got the waffle batter finished. She normally likes waffles or pancakes. And so on Mondays, I try to, since I don't work on Mondays, get up and make her something hot for breakfast. And I try to do mac and cheese for her lunch because she loves taking mac and cheese for her lunch. So since I don't work on Mondays, even though I usually close late the night before, I'll still wake up extra early to get all that done. So once I've got the waffle batter made, I'm just waiting on the waffle iron to heat up. And then over here on the stove, I have a pot of boiling water. And then this is just a thermos brand container, and it's what she takes in her lunch. I'll kind of see if I can show you the top of it. If I can unscrew this. There we go. So this lid comes off, and then in the top is like a spoon that unfolds stuck in there, and then if you unscrew the bottom part, that's where your hot food or liquids go. And so what I'll do is, of the morning that I'm going to make that, I will get my sink water really super hot, and I will put it in there, and I will let that thing heat up with the lid on, so that when I'm ready to put my mac and cheese in there, it is nice and piping hot. And she tells me her mac and cheese stays hot and creamy until lunch. So that is one of the best purchases I have ever made for her lunchbox. Lexi's water is boiling and her waffle is just about done. And I realized I didn't show you the mac and cheese that we use. She loves the Annie's Organic, the Yummy Bunnies and Cheddar, or any variation of shapes and this flavor. She is not a fan of the Kraft at all. Says it's too cheesy. Anything like cheese and shells wise, nope, no thank you. She just likes a very light plain sauce, not super cheesy. I don't know. So we hunted around for a healthier mac and cheese. If she wasn't gonna eat the Kraft, we're like, shoot, can we get you to eat this organic? And sure enough, it was the only one she would eat. All done with Lexi's noodles for the mac and cheese. And the sauce for the Annie's is really easy. You just turn the heat off and melt in 2 tablespoons of butter. And if you want a rich sauce, you add 3 tablespoons of your choice of milk. So, totally different from the Kraft kind. And then you stir this up in the pan, and then you add your pasta in here after you've already stirred this up, and the heat from the pasta will melt most of the lumps. It doesn't have as much anti-caking agents as Kraft does because it's organic, right? It's supposed to be a little healthier, so they try not to put a bunch of filler junk in there, which is why we like it. So let me grab her pasta noodles. So I already pre-drained her pasta noodles real quick. It's always like, man, Jenna, don't make a mess. All right. And then once I get her mac and cheese fully made, I do try to make sure I get it into that container fairly quickly because I don't want it to sit around and get cold while it's waiting on me to put it in the container for her lunch. But there is the mac and cheese. I'm gonna dump this out, the water. And I'll just try to get as much out as I can. And then you can feel the heat coming out of that. So then immediately I try to go in with the mac and cheese. I'll put as much in there as I can fit. There might be a tiny little bit left over, but you don't want the thing to be overflowing. And then we always just tell her, eat what you can. You may not finish the whole thing, and that's okay. Sometimes she can finish a whole pot of macaroni, but not always. And then every once in a while, you'll get those like little orange clumps because again there's not as much caking agent, so I'll try to, like, if I see those, not put them in there. All right, so that's it for the mac and cheese. All I have to do is get the lid on this. I did not make too bad of a mess over here, thankfully. So, and then I always test it with Lexi to make sure she can get it off. Like, I don't leave it screwed on super tight. And then the other thing that we pack with her lunch is fruit snacks. When we take the mac and cheese, she does a couple of packages of fruit snacks, and then she just has her other thermos that has water in it to drink because the mac and cheese is meant to be the main part of the meal. So this is just kind of break it up so it's not straight up mac and cheese. So that is it for Lexi for breakfast and lunch. The next time you see me, it'll be time for my breakfast and then eventually lunch. So I am back from taking Lexi to school, and now I can worry about my breakfast. I don't generally like to eat too early in the morning, And if I've had a late night the night before at work, like I did last night, sometimes I'll go back home and go back to bed for another hour because I can, because I either have the day off or I don't work until 2:30. And it's just the nature of my schedule that I don't get off until 11:30. But if it's a late night at work and I didn't get all my stuff done on time, then sometimes it's after midnight. By the time I get home and unwind and go to bed, it can be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I need that extra sleep. But for me this morning, I am making my favorite breakfast of choice lately, avocado toast. So I use, let me find it here, the Lewis bread whole wheat. It's like a half loaf because it's just me eating it. Brian doesn't really eat that. And I will put that in the toaster. And then I buy these little avocado cups from Holy Avocado. There's like, I forget how many is in here, 6, 9. And it's just like this. And I can use half of one of these on a piece of toast. So what I'll do is I'll just scoop out half and do 2 pieces of toast. So one will make 2 pieces. I used to just use regular avocado and mash it up or just slice it up on my toast. But this is just easier. I kept not being able to get through my avocados fast enough and they would go bad or they wouldn't be ripe enough when I was ready to use them. So avocado cups just makes life easier. And all this is in here is Haas avocados. How they get it to not turn brown, I guess, because there's no air in there. So anyway, and then on top of my avocado, I will put a fried egg, lightly fried, like a nice soft egg. So if I'm cooking my breakfast at the same time as Lexi's, sometimes my soft egg turns into a hard egg because I'm not paying attention. I'm like, oh shoot. But when I'm home by myself, I can usually keep an eye on things. Oh, and I also have my coffee. I turn the Keurig on. Cannot do my morning without a vanilla latte. Chef's kiss. Looks delicious. Since I was filming, I think I let this one get a little away from me. It might still be soft on the inside, but I know this one is. So but this is so delicious. Avocado is a good fat for you. The egg is some protein, and I just use some cooking spray, so I'm not using a ton of like fat like butter. So good. And then when you get to the runny yolk in the middle, So full transparency, it is now like well past when most people would eat breakfast. It's like the mid-morning hour between 10 and 11 because, I went back to bed. So I do eat breakfast just later. And then sometimes what I'll do in the middle of the afternoon is eat like a late lunch. So I'll probably show you that later before I go get Lexi from school. And then I'll show you what we both do for dinner. We are home from our after school activity, and now Lexi is going to scarf down a quick dinner because we get done at 5, get home at 5:30, and she has dance at 7. So Lexi is going to scarf down a Lunchable before she has to get ready for ballet, maybe another snack, and then I am going to get started on my lunch, which is actually a salad. And then I've got these frozen chicken tenders. I don't have time to make fresh tonight, but I'll take 1 or 2 chicken tenders and cook them in the air fryer. And then I will cut them up into chunks so I can have a crispy chicken salad. So hopefully you can hear me. I have got the dishwasher going, but I just got my chicken tenders cooked in the air fryer. And so I'm gonna get started on building my salad. I use a pretty big bowl. I like a big salad. So I just buy this spinach and spring mix from Walmart. And you can find it on their wet salad wall in the produce section. And I do that with my chopped up chicken tenders. I have these little grape tomatoes that I put in there. I do like croutons. Not a good salad unless you got some croutons. And then I also like shredded cheddar cheese in mine. And then, of course, you gotta have some ranch. I usually use Hidden Valley, but this was left over from a youth event we did, so I'm just using it up so it doesn't go to waste. But I do like the Hidden Valley, and especially the packets, the powder that you pour in is delicious. So I am going to get my salad made real quick. My salad is all done. That is yummy, delicious. I am excited to dive into that. Another twist on that, if you like buffalo chicken, you could also take your chicken tender bites, and you can buy the spicy ones. They do make the spicy ones, or you could just toss them after you've chopped them up. You could toss them in buffalo sauce, buffalo and ranch. Good combination. You want to come over here, Lex? So that is pretty much what we eat in a day. Now, I only did eat the 2 meals, so sometimes after we get back from dance, I will have like a little snack or something before bed. But for the most part, I'll just eat twice, and that'll be good enough for me because that salad's pretty big. So, and Lexi, what else did you have? You had some goldfish, you had your lunch bowl, you've had fruit snacks today, so she's had all the things, plus the snack at the after-school program. So, what do you want to tell everyone?
Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we upload our video. Bye.
Bye.